Hey there everyone, this is Jeremy, the Music Andy, and I'm here today to talk to you about a new album, To Alivë from Yeat. Coming from LA, Yeat has released his 5th studio album, 3 of those studio albums coming from last year. The fact that Yeat is not even 22, his birthday being in 2 days, happy birthday Yeat in 2 days, but the fact that he's not even 22 and has 5 studio albums is absolutely incredible. I gotta admit, I do not know who Yeat is going into this. This is the first album I will be hearing. I know they are known for trap, for pop rap, for cloud rap. I really hope that they don't sound like a Playboy Cardi clone, but with Yeat being from the West Coast, Playboy coming from the South, I do not anticipate there being too much of a similarity going on, but who's to know? Enough talking, let's go right into this album. Let's start off with the positives and let's start talking on the instrumentals, the beats on this album. Tracks for the most part have some really ear-catching synths going on, especially on the hooks. The bass is heavy throughout this entire album. The midsection of this album, the bass is done very tastefully. It has a lot of different approaches going on. And the use of effects, tones, particularly bells and chimes, kind of keep this album fresh with new layers being on each beat. I think Poppin' is an immediate song that kind of showcases what I'm talking about on this album. It is super busy, it's constantly moving around and adapting, and it's just super catchy, especially on the hook. Real 6 is another song that kind of stands out for me beat-wise. The use of the bass and the way that Yeat uses his vocals almost as a tone of the song and an instrument on this is incredibly well done. Lil Geek, another standout beats-wise on this, has a very creeping, lurking bass on it. The use of the bells kind of sounds like a Christmas remix song. And since I'm talking about the song, the line, "Diamonds all in my teeth, I don't have to brush a tooth," is fantastic. On the Line has my favorite beat of this entire album. It almost has this Game Boy NES little synthesizer beat going on it, a super uplifting bass, and the way that Yeat just matches his flow to this more relaxed environment is done extremely well. Also, just to mention them, Taliban, Call Me, Love Me, Still Counting, all fantastic songs. They're all bangers, especially on the beats. But now let's talk about where the beats really didn't match that much. I would say Outside is a song that kind of feels like nothing is really connected in it. The flow on this just doesn't match the beat. The beat kind of has this euphoric feeling going on with the synthesizer that's going on it. But it's really just giving me a feeling of like I'm a kid at a Nickelodeon resort, and I'm not going to go into depths on talking that. The bass is lacking for me. The bells, the chimes just aren't contrasting. They're not dynamic. They're not really adding anything, and they're just kind of there right in the song. Just Better would be a fine song, except for the fact that it just feels like a mashup of everything else that has been going on in this. There's nothing really separating it. There's no major key moments that's happening, especially on the hooks, the flows, the beat. Rollin' has Yeat just going absolutely nuts. He's going bonkers. He's going so fast on this one, and it's done to a very soft piano beat. It's very lush. It's actually a very nice beat. But the thing is that none of these songs feel that in nature, and it just feels a little bit out of place. Now let's talk about the lyrics, the vocals, the flow, the real voice of this album. And let's start off with lyrics on that this is just your typical one-liners and flexes for the most part. There's some funny stuff in here, and there's some horny stuff in here. And there's some stuff that's very clever with the wordplay. Some of the flexes on this are done in a very clever way and thoughtful way. This album taught me what a Tonka was. This album taught me what a bean was. The line, "You might catch me in a Tesla, it's driving, I'm nodding off." That's fantastic. The song Racks Got Me actually had me kind of slow down and listen to the lyrics a little bit, because for the most part he's just saying that the only things that haven't stabbed him in the back were racks and perks, and everybody else has. I mean, that's some pretty sad stuff. Notably in this song, the transitions between Gunna and Yeat is done very, very tastefully. They're two contrasting voices, and they intertwine them and just have them fade into each other, and I think that's fantastic. Since we're talking about the vocals, the flows, let's continue on to that. And for the most part on this entire album, the vocals, flows are kind of hit or miss for the most part. in the terms of complimenting the song, supporting the song, or dictating the song in a positive way. I'm gonna jump on Outside again. It's just the song, again, that nothing feels connected in it. Nothing feels complementary to each other. It doesn't have a very dictating theme to it or feel to it. It's a vibe song through and through, and I don't even think it's a very good vibe song. Jump is another song that I just felt was very confused on what it wanted to do. With the song theme of Jump, you feel like it's a pump-up song that wants to move you around, but the vocals are just too scattered. I really wouldn't jump to the song even if I was on a trampoline. All right, I'll chill. That's a bit harsh. If I was on a trampoline, I definitely would jump to it. But again, just tying everything together, this album does its job well. These are vibe songs, and for the most part, when I was listening to it, every single listen that I did on this album, I was chilling for the most part. They do feel a bit too connective, especially on lyrics, especially on the beats, but there are some very standout songs that really had my attention and really kind of resonated with me and stuck in a memorable way. I know the general response on this album has been pretty negative, but for the most part, I think that it does its job, again, very well, and it was not a bad listen to me at all. I'm thinking 6.8 Tonkas out of 10. I almost went 6.9 because of Yeat's line, he's horny and he wants you to lick on him. But I will not be tricked from Yeat. What did you think of this album? What albums would you like me to review in the future? Please leave a comment below and let me know. Subscribe if you like the content, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Sorry for the orange outfit.